Hey guys. Hey guys. Hello, hello. If you're in here, say hello in the chat. And you guys know I struggle in the beginning just to get the links out. So while I put the links out, can you guys also put out the link and get in the chat box and say hello? Struggling. The chat box and say hello. Let's see. Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm coming. There we go. Hey everybody in the chat. You guys, if you're in the chat right now, say hello. Put out a comment or chat in the box and say hello. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a sec. So I just want to see, try to get people to come in really quick, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So get in the chat box, say hello, and tell me how you're feeling right now. This show is all about you guys. I'm going to try to bring some of you guys on so you can have your say. So yeah, so we can just get our frustrations out, have a little chat about the game and that kind of stuff. Okay. Hi, Glenn. Hey, Alex De Jesus. I think that's what that says. Hey, guys. I know, good evening, but not good evening at the same time, right? Yeah. You guys get your comments in. Frustrated. Yes, I'm frustrated too. Pain. Yeah, I feel the pain too. Hey, Maddie K. Too upset to talk? No. So, yeah. But there's a couple things that I wanted to go over and just talk about from the game. So I saw that, and I'd retweeted it on Twitter, that James Bench said that Aston Villa we lost to a well-organized team with better players. And that had me thinking, does Aston Villa have a better team than us? What do you guys think about that? I kind of think in some positions they may have a better team. And that's worrying to me because they also brought in somebody, I guess they brought in Morgan Sampson in January. So to me, it doesn't really look like they're going to stop improving their squad. So if Aston Villa at this point is already a better team than we are, and we're not able to really improve our squad because we, for some reason, don't get into European competition and we're not able to convince the Cronkies to give us money to improve, what happens then? Do we just slip into mediocrity? Even Willock scored. Guendouzi had a banging game. The world is against us. Yeah, that usually happens when it rains, it pours. When we do bad, then all of our loanies do well, and then it just kind of comes back to bite us. I think Saliba got player of the month too, or something like that. So not great. You think they have a better squad than us? Yeah, they may. I'm okay. These shows actually really help me just get my frustrations out and talk to you guys. So I'm actually fine. I think last week or the midweek game was actually a lot harder to take. This one is par for the course, I guess, So let's see. You guys, are you interested in coming on? I can send the link, and then you can come on for, a couple, probably a minute or two, and we can just kind of talk to each other, kind of thing. And you can talk to the chat as well. My only caveat for this is that you have to have your video on and you have to be respectful, no cursing. Well, I mean, a little bit, but just be respectful and don't go too long. So if you are interested in coming on, I will send out the link, the StreamYard link, so that you can come on and have a chat and get your frustrations out. They don't have a better team. They have better players in areas who play in a system that suits their player profile. They're also further down the line in playing Dean Smith style of football. How long has Dean Smith been at Aston Villa? And I mean, they were on the brink of relegation last season. So I have a hard time kind of, thinking that they're further along in their project than we are. I mean, do we have to be on the brink of relegation to get it together? Loney's doing well is good. We can sell them for a good price. That's also a good way to think of it. If Willick does well, Guendouzi does well, then when they're, sold, we'll get more money for them. So it's not, a horrible thing that they do well, but it's always used as a narrative against us. Like, we've made a mistake. We've made a bad decision to loan Willick out when we all know that he's not good enough at this point to play for us. Should Arsenal have got a left back on loan? I think we are going to see that, that decision kind of come back on us a little bit. Cedric didn't look good today, and yeah, maybe we should have. Okay, so I'm going to get some of you guys on here. Hey! I think we need to write the season off. It's a crazy season. Let's judge Arsenal's next seasons. We just have to go through the pain at the moment. It's really painful, though, Maddie K. It's really painful. 4-year, I think. Yeah, we're definitely in a 3 to 4 year rebuild. We're nowhere near it, you guys. Like, we are mid-table. Like, it's that serious. Okay, so he's been there for 3 or 4 seasons then, so yeah, Arteta's only been here this will be his first full season, so yeah. Look, you give a team like Villa a 1-goal lead, they're always going to be hard to break down, of course. And I was saying this earlier, like on Twitter, that it just seems like if a team, can get 1-0 up on us and be smart enough to just sit in and defend, they'll win the game. If they continue to attack us, they'll give us an opportunity to come back on them. But I think Aston Villa knew, well, as soon as we go 1-0 up, we are still unable to break down low blocks, so we don't put enough pressure and create enough chaos when teams are sitting back to get, those lucky goals. Because that's really what happens, right? When they park the bus, you're basically just hoping that you put enough pressure on them that you just get a lucky goal, and we just don't create enough chaos in the final third. Where on earth was Martinelli today? He had to get on. Game was pleading for him to come on. Yeah, it was. Hi, how are you? You'll come on? Okay, you guys, I'm going to send out the link, but I'm not kidding. I have to be able to see your face, so your video has to be on. Be respectful and kind of have your point already, ready, because I want to get as many people on as possible that actually want to come on. So let's try to keep it quick and concise. And again, if I can't see you, you can't come on. And if you're waiting in the queue, just wait patiently and I will get to you, okay? So I'm about to put the link in the chat. It's going to be under the Bearded Gooner because obviously I'm on his channel, but this is from me. All right, the link is there, you guys. So if you want to come on, just go ahead and sign in and I'll get as many people on as I possibly can. Remember, I have to see your face and be respectful as I'm kicking you off. I want to see your face. Come on. No, I think you have to be on a browser and use Google Chrome. So I think, yeah, that's the way you have to come on. The refs and VAR are not helping our situation, that's for sure. Penalty, red card equals a different game. Yeah. I mean, even you saw today, like Newcastle went down to 9 men. It's just they're really red card happy, and it just seems like it's disproportionate. Some teams get them and other teams don't, Okay, you guys, I sent out the link. I'll put it on there again just in case you guys are missing it. Okay. So, you guys, are there any players on our team that you think would walk into that Villa side? Like, be honest. You know, I'm having a hard time thinking besides Saka, you know, who could walk into that Villa side. You know, I think Target and Cash might be better than Bellerin and Cedric. Not better than Tierney, but definitely better than Cedric and Bellerin. So if there's, name the players that you think could get into that Villa side at the moment. Thank you, Tony. I really appreciate that. Okay, you guys, I sent out the link. I'm going to bring on my first guest. But if you do want to come on, just go ahead and sign in to the StreamYard link, and I'll get you on as soon as possible. Okay. Hey!
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not good. Another weekend ruined. They need to stop putting Arsenal games as the early kickoff, because that just ruins my mood completely.
I know.
So yeah, I'm not doing good, man. I'm not doing good.
Wow, yeah. I understand. I had to wake up at like 3 o'clock to get ready for this game, and obviously 4:30 kickoff for me, so not great. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on James Bench saying that Aston Villa is the better team? Do you think Aston Villa at this point has a better team than us? And do any of our players get into that Villa side?
Now, there's always that debate of Martinez and Leno. It hurts even more that Martinez has kept 2 clean sheets against us. You can't make these things up, man. I think he's kind of the same level with Leno. The back 4 cash was outstanding today. Excuse the pun, is definitely worth the cash. They got that guy from the championship. Konza, they got him from the championship. These guys, it's not even about their ability, just the hard work and commitment. That's what I always say. I saw a picture of Holding and Gabriel pointing at each other and telling each other what to do, and none of them was doing whatever they were telling each other to do. And I see, I just ask myself this thing about confidence players, and every time hearing about confidence players, Holding is a confident player, Pep is a confidence player. These Konzas and the Mings of this world, they're not confidence players. These guys want to make their coach happy. They want to prove their teammates right. They want to make their family proud. Why do we always have these players where we have to, like Holding performs well today, performs poorly tomorrow? So my point is that 2 defenders are better than what we had today. So that's 3 out of 3. Target better than Cedric, obviously. So that's 4 out of 4. If you go to the middle, I definitely want McGinn at Arsenal. Definitely. The energy he gives in that midfield, that's something we've been lacking. If I see him and I see Shaq at the same time, you just see what we're lacking. McGinn is very, very good in the middle. Obviously, Grealish. I always say when they beat us 3-0 at the Emirates and we had Willian and they had Grealish, I still believe if Grealish was in our team that day and Willian was in that team, we would have been the ones beating them 3-0. That's how much of a difference he can make. Barkley, I'd even have taken him on loan ahead of Willian, but yeah, enough of Chelsea players. So I'd say the only person who would enter the Chelsea team, the Villa team, Saka. Maybe Saka for Traore, and Traore has been excellent since he started playing. And basically, it's only Saka. I can't even make an argument for anyone else. I can't
Not even Thomas Partey at all? Not Thomas Partey?
Maybe Thomas.
Maybe
Thomas Partey for Nakamba, yeah. But the injuries are really bothering me. Like, he can't play for more than 50 minutes without getting an injury. So if you're telling me as of this season, the Douglas Luiz enters the team ahead of Thomas Partey, unfortunately.
Wow. Okay.
So 1 player for us, Saka.
All right. Well, there you have it. Glenn says only 1 player, Saka, gets into the side. And Glenn, I know you have your own channel. Do you want to shout it out really quick before I let you go?
No problem. If you just search for Everything Arsenal on YouTube, you'll get it. I always feel so disgusted every time I talk well about Mateta and the players, and then when I'm doing these shows, I look like a fool, basically. So I don't understand. These guys have beaten us 4 times in a row. If you even include the friendly match that they beat us at the start of this season, 4 times. They have beaten us twice at Villa Park since 1998. Both of them in the last 6 months. Something is wrong.
Yeah. Okay, Glenn, thank you for coming on.
Thank
I
you.
hope to see you still in the chat. And yeah, we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, I'm going to add my next person on. You guys, if you want to come on, I'm going to put the link back in the chat so more people can join. But let's just keep the conversation rolling. I'm going to bring Harry on.
Hey.
What's up, Harry?
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Meh.
Yeah,
Tough
I
one.
get you. So for you, is this just a continuation from, the Wolves match? Do you think that was still playing on the players' heads in this game and it affected our ability to really get into that game? What do you think was the issue today?
Yeah, I want to say no to that, but I think it clearly affected us because we started so slow, didn't we? And that gave them the impotence to generate that chance, which wasn't a chance, it was a mistake. But we just gave them the ability to press because we didn't keep the ball well enough. If you watch the first minute of the game, I think Martinez has a goal kick and Lacazette kind of like hobbles over to close him down. And that was just the narrative of that first 10 minutes, just slow, not enough desire. And then we grew into the game. And for what it's worth, I think we played relatively okay on the ball. We just didn't generate enough chances.
Right.
It's quite easy to compare Villa players with our players when they've won. But if you look at the overall game, we had long spells of possession. So their midfield players weren't as effective as we perhaps think they were. But because they could just sit back and soak it up and then give it to Grealish on the counter-attack, it's a lot easier.
Right.
But today, I do question Arteta a little bit, to be honest, in terms of his lineup. I wouldn't have started Lacazette because the last 3 games we started him against Villa, we haven't posed enough of a threat, and I think it's easy for Mings and Konza to defend against a striker who's going to play with their back to goal. I think we should have started Aubameyang, and in the same respect, we put Aubameyang on the pitch when the game was a deeper game. They were in the penalty box, and we're launching crosses into Aubameyang, and that's not his game, is it? So Arteta, I think, got it a little bit wrong today, if I'm being honest. And I love Arteta.
Still struggling with those substitutions. It seems like he's still, he's an inexperienced manager. You can see when we get into positions where the game is not really going our way, sometimes he gets it, and other times he really doesn't. So
it seems like it always goes for experience over ability sometimes. I understand if Willian came on for Partey and played centre midfield, I can kind of understand the logic there to be a possession player. But once Willian goes left wing, so then you take Pepe away from the left, and Pepe was playing sick with Saka, and then you're just thinking, why is Willian playing left wing? Just get Martinelli on. You need a goal. Get Martinelli in the box. So he got it wrong today. He did. You have to say it. And I'm Arteta in all the way, but he made a few boo-boos.
For sure. Well, thank you for coming on, Harry. You've been awesome. I love seeing you in the chat too. So how about, what do you do? Do you DJ? What do you do for life?
Yeah, well, I did DJ, yeah, but obviously lockdown in London means I don't DJ now. I just watch Arsenal and comment on football YouTube videos. So yeah, that's pretty much my life at the moment. But yeah, I do DJ. It's DJ Harry on Instagram, and hopefully I'll be back gigging once Boris Johnson lets us out of the house.
All right, awesome. So you know where to follow Harry. I hope to see you back in the chat, and DM me because I think I would want to have you on my podcast actually.
Oh, great. Yeah, I'll give you a shout.
Do you want to come on?
Yeah, I love to talk about Arsenal. I love to talk. It's fun.
All right, awesome. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Stay in the chat, okay?
I will do. Have a great day. Thanks.
You too. Bye. All right. I saw some of you guys were waiting in line, but some of you guys left. So maybe you guys didn't want to wait any longer. Oh, well, I'm about to get on to my next friend. And honestly, this is one of my favorite people in the chat and also on Twitter. He's like one of my favorite people. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. And we have the Bulgarian Gooner. Yes. Hey, my friend. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me? Or?
I can hear you perfectly.
I'm from the phone.
Yes.
But not Google Chrome only. I just Steve Bruce came at Villa in 2016 and Dean Smith came in 2018. So there you go.
Wow. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about Saka, and how do you feel about the way his lack of protection during the game? It seemed like the ref was allowing them to kick him down a lot. What do you think about that? Why do you think we're overreacting because we're so sensitive now about anything, or do you think that there was like a real lack of protection from the referee today on
I
Saka?
feel it's not just this game with Saka. I feel that it's been going on for a few games this season. He seems to be the one player from our squad that keeps getting kicked a lot during games. And to be honest, I don't expect much protection from the refs considering
Right.
the last few games. But for me, one of the big reasons he's being that viciously tackled is because he's one of the few in the squad that is willing to put his foot in, you know?
Right.
A few of the lads just a bit hesitant.
Right.
He has no fear. That's why we love him so much.
Yeah. But there also, I think that raises questions about, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe, these other players where they're not getting kicked. Does that mean that Saka is our most, I guess, dangerous player, and maybe the other teams just don't view our other players as threats? Because even though Saka was getting kicked, nobody else was doing anything. Do you think some of our other players maybe lack that dangerous nature and other teams just don't view them as a threat?
I think they have respect of the opposition, but I think with Saka, he has a football brain. He's really intelligent. He has good decision making. With Pepe, he rushes it sometimes, other times not sure what to do and goes into trouble. Aubameyang, we know he's not really good on the dribble or the hold-up play. He's more of a poacher. Laka, I don't know. Laka, a few games he plays okay, good hold-up, good link-up. But other games, the ball bounces off him. He's too inconsistent. I love him, but sometimes it's really hard to love him. I don't know how to explain it with Laka.
Yeah.
Well, Saka, the one thing he has as an advantage is his football brain. I think he's a very intelligent player. He makes good decisions in tight spaces, and it's normal for the opposition to see him as a threat.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And it's just, I think it's just frustrating because, when our players don't have good games, they really fall off of a cliff. It's like no in between. It's like they're either really, really good or really, really bad. And I think Lacazette had a struggly game. Let's just put it that way. Even Holding, he plays really, really well. And then today he just kind of fell off a cliff. So I think this kind of goes back to, I forget who said it earlier, but the confidence player narrative to me doesn't really make sense. We just need players that play consistently. And even when they're not at their peak, they shouldn't be like the way that they were today. What did you think about Gabriel and Holding today? Did you think that what kind of game do you think that was for them? I mean, only one goal went in, but shaky. Yes or no?
Absolutely shaky. Even Holding, he's really solid normally, but even he had some few unconvincing touches today with the ball. I know it's not his strong suit with the ball, but for him it was a little bit below par game. Gabi, I think, is still rusty after coming back, and he was put in a bad situation in the first minute by Cedric.
Right.
Mistake. And if you notice, when William came on, William did the same thing Cedric did in the second half, and it could have been a mirror image a second goal.
Right.
I think he's a threat in the opposition, though, Gabi, and our set piece play could be a lot better attacking wise. Maybe target him a little more. We can't beat the first man on the corners. Maybe we should use our strengths more.
Yeah.
Defensive, Aston Villa didn't pose much of a threat during the whole game.
Right.
Second half, we pushed a little bit high line. But even for Holding and Gabi, it was a little bit below par. More Holding. Gabi, I don't think it was a bad game. He was just put in a bad situation in the first minute.
I agree. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. You're awesome. Thank you for always being in the chat and stuff. And I hope you go back in the chat and keep it going there. And I'm going to do this again, and I'll definitely have you on again because you're awesome. Okay.
My beautiful face, yes.
Oh, yes, of course. You're the bomb. All right, I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Bye.
Bye. Okay, there you have it. That was Bulgarian Gooner, one of my best friends on Twitter and in the chat. So you guys, I put out the link again. I'm going to bring on my next guest soon. But I kind of want to pivot the conversation a little bit to what does this mean for Arsenal moving forward? You know, before the Wolves game, we were talking about, you know, some fans were talking about top 4. Others were talking about qualifying for Europe or even winning the Europa League. Now, I think these games are kind of solidifying our spot in mid-table. I don't really see us getting out, you know, and so I want to pivot the conversation a little bit towards what does that mean for us in the future? And even what types of players do we need to bring in the summer to get us into a place where we can actually compete? Because I think we're missing some key pieces here. So I'm going to bring on Ovani now. What up?
What up?
Where are you from?
I'm from Aston.
Oh, okay, awesome. I think the last time I saw you, you had on like a Texas hat or something like that. I kind of remember that. So I was like, oh, he's from out here. Yeah, awesome. What time did you wake up to watch the game this morning?
6:30.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 6:30.
Still early.
Yeah, super early. But
yeah,
I was good. I didn't sleep early.
Okay, so what I wanted to talk about, I was just saying I kind of wanted to pivot to what does this mean for us moving forward? You know, for you, where do you think we can realistically finish, kind of seeing that our team is having a hard time getting points? And for you, what if you could improve one position in the summer, what position would that be?
I think the league is done for sure. I think we just need to focus now, get the best team for the Europa League, get the best team, win that to secure Champions League. But I see a lot of fans on Twitter that a lot of people just want us to just not even compete for the Europa League, you know, and just kind of like no Europe for next year. Let's just regroup, you know. And I feel like maybe we do need that, but I don't know. Today's loss kind of like it kind of just
deflated you.
Yeah, like it was devastating today. Like it just showed you that, you know, there needs to be change. It's gonna take time, but we just need to trust Mikel. Let him get some players in the summer and let's regroup. And I feel like when I see on Twitter that all the fans are like, you know, let's no Europe, I kind of agree with them. You know, like let's have no Europe. Let's just focus next year on just the league and the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup.
Domestic, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I feel like we should do.
Yeah, I mean, with that, there's just the repercussions of not having the money, you know, because the Europa League brings in like secured money, you know, that's kind of like our safety blanket. And because we don't have fans in the stands and we just took out that huge loan that has to be repaid by the end of the season, I don't know if we can afford to not be in European competition, but it looks like we may not make it, you know? So knowing that, we may actually have to sell players. Do you think we could sell somebody or sell a couple players to be able to reinvest back into the squad? Because the Cronkies, they do put money in, but not that much. You know, I wouldn't be looking forward to like 100 million, you know, kind of shopping spree kind of thing. So what do you think if you're Edu and you're looking into the summer, how are you going to bring the squad into a position next season to compete?
Well, I was watching Newcastle and Joe Willock. He was playing. Where was that when he was here in Arsenal?
Where was that?
Like I was confused. I was like, is that really Joe Willock out there? Like, he's really good for Newcastle. So if he keeps it up, that's somebody that we can sell. You know, we still need to see Ainsley, see how he performs. But
and Guendouzi too.
Yeah, so I feel like Arteta is gonna push most of these players out, like the Willocks, the Ainsleys, Guendouzi, Torreira. All of those players are gonna leave. So I feel like it kind of hurts me to say, but I feel like Laka's gonna have to be one of those too in the summer. Laka's just gonna have to go. You know, it's gonna be kind of sad because you know that bond with the Aubameyang is kind of, we like to see it, but it's
like that's more vibes than actual product. Like I think we just like to see it, but I think it's more vibes to me than anything. We don't need vibes; we need results.
Exactly. So
you know,
I feel like Laka's gonna have to be one of those guys that's gonna have to go for us. And who do we bring in? It's kind of be the question. Who are we gonna go out there and get? You know, we were linked a couple players, but we don't know.
We need a striker that actually likes to head the ball.
Yeah,
that was clear to me today with Aubameyang. He does this thing where he heads it but doesn't really. And if we're going to be smacking crosses across the goal, we need to have somebody that can actually, head the ball.
Yeah. What was Martinelli today too? I don't know why didn't he come in? I was expecting to see Martinelli, but this is why people criticize Mikel, because he makes these like slight decisions that's gonna it's gonna put you out there. Like, put a lot of people don't like William on the squad. They feel like he doesn't put the effort for the team. So why do you keep putting him? Just sit him on the bench for a couple games, let him regroup his mind. And that's where we're at right now.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think it just comes down to inexperience. And I'm not really sure why Martinelli didn't come on, but I think it was the wrong choice because he's the only game changer that we really have,
Exactly.
So what's the highest what did you say? What's the highest you think we can finish the season?
Top 4 is done. I think between 7th and 10th place.
Yeah.
That's it. That's where we're at right now. And I think that Mikel, he kind of knows now, like, okay, like let's focus on the Europa. We got Benfica, so let's see what we can do. Let's see what squad can get me to the final and get me in Champions League. Because at the end of the day, that Mikel wants that Champions League. He wants that. So, and we kind of need it too. We want to bring in attractive players. So it's going to be Europa or nothing.
Yeah, for sure. And I see your name is Ovani TV on here. Do you have your own channel?
Yeah, I have my channel. I just like getting on and chat with y'all and stuff like that. So
okay, awesome.
That's really why I made it and stuff.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
I really appreciate it. And stay in the chat. We're gonna keep going for another 15 minutes or so. So yeah. But thank you so much for coming on.
You. Take care, Jess.
You too. Bye. All right, there you have it. That's Ovani TV. Nobody else wanted to come on with me, so I'm a little disappointed, but that's okay. Next time, you guys. But we're going to stay on for maybe another 15 minutes or so, just chat a little bit more about, Arsenal and how we feel about the season, So go ahead and get your questions in, you guys. I'm going to do a little quick fire questions for another 15 to 20 minutes. And then I'm going to go work out and go on about my day. So you're not forgiven, Maxwell. You're not forgiven. Can't believe you were late. If it wasn't for the Wolves game, would this loss be reviewed so harsh? I still think the overall development is positive. I think when the game first ends and we've lost, the wound is it's just there, so we don't really think we're reactionary. We're fans, so I still think that there's development there. I think the football is not as dire as it was in the beginning of the season. But what I will say is that if we have any ambitions, these games cannot be losses. We should have been far enough ahead of Wolves to at least get a tie out of that game. And today, I think we should have at least tied this game. Aston Villa didn't do anything today, but get a gimme goal and sit back. So I think the Wolves game did make it harder to digest this a little bit because we were expecting some sort of rebound or some sort of response, but we just didn't get it, So I think when we wake up tomorrow, we'll be able to analyze this a little bit better. But right now, I just think the wound from the last game and this game is just a little bit too raw, So yeah, we are judging it a little bit harsh. Okay, so Pepe, I think he was due a little slump. He didn't have a great game today. And I think, again, he was just what Aston Villa did a really good job of is keeping our players that really link well away from each other. I thought Pepe was out on the wing a little bit too far. Saka was a little bit too far out wide. They couldn't find ESR. So our attack kind of broke down whenever we would try to do those like really quick passes because the next pass was too far away. Pepe, he suffered a little bit. I think he grew into the game, but ultimately he didn't have the effect on the game that he had the couple games prior. Part of that has to do with the fact that Matty Cash had him in his pocket. I think he had a great game, and he just wasn't great today. I still wouldn't drop him. I don't think Aubameyang did anything to fight for that spot, but I wouldn't be surprised if the next game Arteta did drop Pepe. With Pepe, we have to keep playing him and see what happens. I wouldn't drop him just yet because everybody played crap today. I mean, we weren't crap, but he wasn't so awful that I would be like, let's just drop him, But if you want to expand on the Pepe talk, let me know what specifically you want me to talk about, and we can go into it, Glenn. Yes, free therapy, you guys, free therapy. Do you think we would be higher in the league if we had a more experienced manager? It depends on who that manager is. We can't just say yes, because with Unai Emery, who's pretty experienced, we were in 8th, So I think it depends on who the manager is. I think Arteta's inexperience just hurts us in terms of substitutions and things like that. But I ultimately think the team is what the real problem is. I don't think very many managers could get more out of this team because, quite frankly, I think that without ESR, Saka, Tierney, Thomas Partey, Xhaka, up to this point, he's been pretty good. I think we lack quality. I really do. I think we lack quality, and I think we lack football IQ. I think we have too many, we don't have enough thinkers out there on the field, and it's hurting us. So I think it's more to do with the players than if we had a more experienced coach. More experience is not always the better thing. I mean, Jose Mourinho is at Spurs right now. He's really experienced and he looks like shit, so, more experience. No, I think we need a better team. I think Arteta at this point has convinced me enough to think that he maybe can do something. I still have some questions, but no manager is perfect. So let's see what happens. I think if next season he's still making some of these same mistakes, we might need to find somebody a little bit more experienced, but I still think it's the players. If Abba plays, where do you prefer, up top or on the left? I think I prefer... That's a hard question just because I think he's better off of the left, but I wouldn't pick him over anybody on the left. I wouldn't pick him over Martinelli or Pepe at this point on the left. I have a strong position on Aubameyang that I won't get into today, but what I will say is that if I was Arteta, if I do play Aubameyang, I would try to play him up top through the center, and I would make sure that Odegaard was on the field so we have somebody that has the vision to find him. Just to get your mind of Arsenal at the minute, I recommend you watch Blue's story and Shiro's story. They're both on YouTube, very urban, like Top Boy. I love Top Boy. If you guys were here last time, I love Top Boy. You guys can always give me suggestions on like shows and stuff like that. But if it's bad and I don't like it, I'm going to call you out on the next stream because I can't trust you anymore. The funny thing is we've improved the defense by scoring less, so now we're losing less. Bruce Rioch lost 17 games in 1995. Let's see if our manager breaks this record. Oof. Yep, they definitely did their homework. They knew that if they stopped Saka, and, that was pretty much it. Saka cannot be our only dangerous player on the field. We need to be able to be dangerous without him, so we need to figure that out. Afternoon, do you think Aubameyang will reach the heights of before? Would you see out his contract? I don't. I think that, Arsenal being so risk adverse, like they did not calculate the risk of giving him this contract, in my opinion, because a 31-year-old is always going, like more times than not, is going to physically decline, and fall off a cliff at some point. And it just happened to be right after he signed the contract. I know that we were giving him a lot of excuses of he's not getting service, then it was he had a little knock, then it was, now he's coming back from, his mom's illness, which of course I have all the time for him in regards to that. But I think we're just seeing that Aubameyang is just, he's not the same player that he was last season, and all players at a certain time will fall off of a cliff unless you're Lewandowski, unless you're a special player. And I don't think Aubameyang is that special. I just think that we didn't take into account the risks. You know, there was a high likelihood that he would fall off of a cliff, and we gave him a big contract as if we thought he was Superman, and he's not. So I don't think he'll reach the heights of before. I think he will continue to go into the background of our team as we progress and we improve. He's not great in build up. He's not really good with the ball at his feet. And we've reverted to Lacazette because of his ability to hold up the ball, and Aubameyang doesn't have that. So it really depends. You know, we're hearing from some I've heard that if we don't make top 4 this season, that he gets to walk for free anyway, like the end of this season. So either we lose him this season, you know, he'll walk away because of some clause in his contract, or after 3 years, he'll walk away for free. I don't see him going anywhere at the moment because of the amount of money that he's being paid. Let's be real. He's not going to get that anywhere else. So we'll see. I don't see him reaching the same heights, though. I think that's over. Let's see. Isn't your replacements for the first 11 supposed to be able to be equal in talent? Yes, but you have to build a squad over time, and we're just now getting rid of dead wood. So it's going to take time for us to get to the point where we have like for like replacements off of the bench. We have not built the squad in a cohesive way. So now we have a very disjointed squad that's been assembled over several years and under several different managers that had different ideas or regimes, you know, because really it was Raul, you know, there's some Wenger players, there's some Ivan Gazidis players, there's some Sven Mislintat players that have just left, you know, so it's going to take time for us to build a squad where we have like for like replacements. And also we need to start using our academy better, you know, because at this point, our academy is not producing enough squad players, adequate squad players for us to use to fill in those gaps. Yeah, he's just off. I just don't think Aubameyang's coming back. Any club would have renewed Aubameyang's deal in the form that he was in. I feel like the club felt like they had to, because again, just like in the Ozil situation, they were placating the fans. They knew that if they had lost their top player, you know, that the fans would riot. So they're just pretty much just trying to keep us happy. So a club like Arsenal would renew the deal. A club that's been building their team correctly and could let a 31-year-old leave because they had adequate replacements behind him would have let him go. Alba needs to play. Nothing wrong with him. Needs more of the ball. I think he needs less of the ball. I think he needs to be less involved in build-up and more, you know, like a Vardy, a very low-touch player, because he kills us in build-up. Until we have enough technical players in behind him and he can just play up front and just finish off moves, he's pretty much he's not as good as Lacazette at this point. He's a poacher but needs quality service. Exactly. We need more quality players in behind him. And when you put him on the left wing, you take away a technical player, you take away another thinker, you take away a football IQ, you know, and that hurts us. You know, we can't just have ESR and Saka. We need at least 3 thinkers on the field at once. Odegaard could help Aubameyang with his runs. I think Odegaard is the only player that we have that has the vision to find Aubameyang. ESR is more of a, you know, a connector. You know, he's really good on one touches, but he doesn't have that kind of vision to find the through ball into somebody to put them in on goal. And I think if you play Odegaard and Aubameyang over time, even Aubameyang maybe on the left wing, that could help for sure. Let's see. Bellerin. I see things about Bellerin, you guys. I think I hate to say it. I know Bellerin has kind of like a large following with the fan base, and I don't doubt his humanitarian work, and I think he's a good person and probably a decent leader behind the scenes. But moving forward, I think we need a new right back. I really do. I'm sorry to say it. Like, I just think he lacks certain qualities in the final third that we really need if we're going to be. The risk has to have equal reward. You know what I'm saying? The risk of him coming out of his pocket and leaving us exposed needs to result in something that is useful. And when he's in the final third, I think he lacks quality. I really do. And sometimes it's just a simple cutback, but he always chooses to do this little floaty dippy ball, and it's just useless. Aubameyang doesn't want to be here because of the pandemic is the only reason he is here. Yep. I've said this, that, he spent all of last season threatening to leave us, and he was playing well. People think he was playing for a contract. I believe he was playing for a move. And because of the pandemic, he wasn't able to find a club to take him on the wages that he really wanted. So he ended up staying with us because we paid him. We paid him, what he needed to stay. If you guys remember, he threatened to leave Arsenal from January. And all we heard about all season was, where is he going to go? He's going to leave us on a free. Is he going to sign a contract? And I'm fatigued from Aubameyang, to be honest, and he's not playing well. And I don't really think we should spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to make him tick. I think we need to move on and move on to Pepe and Saka and the younger players on the team, and just hopefully he can, just be in the background. I'm not really worried about Aubameyang right now. Yeah, Raul portion is extremely frustrating. It is. You guys, a couple more minutes, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Yeah, big money Raul. He's a criminal. But again, did we do our due diligence when we brought him in? He had a spotty track record at Barcelona anyway, so I'm not really sure, why we brought him in. Just because he has Barcelona ties doesn't mean, Barcelona financially is in ruin, partly because of him, because he didn't sell any players. So not sure why we brought him in. Bye, Glenn. Thank you for coming. I'll see you next time. Yeah, Saka, ESR, and Odegaard would be good for Aubameyang to play with. I agree. Yeah, Lacazette did not have a shot on target, and I don't think he may not have had one last game either. Not good. Matt Ryan had a great debut. I think he was great. What else could you ask for? I think he was good, with his distribution. I think he was solid. People were saying that were actually on the ground were saying that he was very vocal, so I think that was a good move by Arsenal to get him. Couple more, you guys. Lee Dixon is available. Yeah, I take him. On the Emmy Laka situation, it looked like Emmy pulled Lacazette down in the box, but again, we're never getting those calls. Those calls only go to VAR for certain teams. So I think it could go either way. I think if you're a certain team, it's a penalty, and if you're Arsenal, it's not. Smith Rowe is not ready to be the creative hub for us yet. Too low touch right now. Yeah, Smith Rowe may not really be that type of player, which is fine. I think having connectors, kind of like busy players that pop into space, he reminds me so much of Ramsey in that way, where it's not so much about what he can do on the ball, it's what he does off the ball and his off the ball running and his aggressive running into the box. And I think ESR, as he grows, I think he'll be more of that type of player, whereas Odegaard is more of the vision, the eyes, the type of player. I'm sorry to give this comparison, but he reminds me a lot of Ozil with his vision and his ability to find the pass. So, having both of those types of players on the field would only benefit us. I do think that there's room for both of them to play together and separate. But yeah, I do agree. Smith Rowe is not ready to be the creative hub for us. And I don't necessarily see him as a creative player, if I'm honest. Bellerin used to be so good in attack and poor at defending. Now he's just poor. Exactly. What the risk of him coming out of his pocket is not, the return on investment is not there for me. Let's see. You're welcome. I loved having you on. I'll have you on again. You guys, before I go, did you guys like this format? Did you guys like the having people come on, and would you guys want me to do something like this again? I do have a private Facebook group that I just created like a day ago. And if you go onto the She Knows Arsenal Instagram page and click on the link, there is a button for you to go and find the Facebook page, and you can join our Facebook group, because what I'm going to try to do is have like the more loyal listeners come into that Facebook group, and we do these impromptu kind of like face-to-face chats, you know, maybe once a week. So if you guys do like this type of format, just let me know. You guys can hit me up in DMs or just leave a comment here or on the video, and I'll make sure to continue to do them. But when you guys leave here, go to the She Knows Arsenal Twitter page and click on the link and just join the Facebook group. It's completely free, and we'll be chatting in there a lot more often. And also all you have to do is just answer 3 membership questions, and that's it. And you're in the group. So I'll start adding you guys in, but that's it for the show today. I really enjoyed this, and I hope that this was good, you know, therapy for you guys. It really was for me. Please smash the likes before you leave and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, the post-match show will be tomorrow. I think at 6 p.m. East UK time. I'll obviously post that on my social media so you guys know. And I'll be having Albert JTV on, and we'll be going more in depth on this game. And if you guys have any questions, you know, hit me up in DMs and we'll be sure to answer them. So yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for being here with me. And bye, guys. See ya.